The questions that the Jews asked our prophet, Imam Ahmad, recorded that Ibn Abbas said, a group of Jews came to Allah's prophet and said, "Talk to us about some things we will ask you and which only a prophet would know." He said, "Ask me about whatever you wish. However, give your pledge to Allah, similar to the pledge that Yaqub took from his children, that if I tell you something and you recognize its truth, you will follow me in Islam." They said, "Agreed." The Prophet said, "Ask me about whatever you wish." They said, "Tell us about 4 matters. 1. What kinds of food did Israel prohibit for himself? 2. What about the sexual discharge of the woman and the man, and what role does each play in producing male or female offspring? 3. Tell us about the condition of the unlettered prophet during sleep. 4. And who is his wali among the angels?" The Prophet took their covenant that they will follow him if he answers these questions, and they agreed. He said, "I ask you by he who sent down the Torah to Musa, do you not know that Israel once became very ill? When his illness was prolonged, he vowed to Allah that if he cures his illness, he would prohibit the best types of drink and food for himself. Was not the best food to him camel meat and the best drink camel milk?" They said, "Yes, by Allah." The messenger said, "O Allah, be witness against them." The Prophet then said, "I ask you by Allah, other than whom there is no deity, who sent down the Torah to Musa, do you not know that man's discharge is thick and white and woman's is yellow and thin? If any of these fluids becomes dominant, the offspring will take its sex and resemblance by Allah's leave. Hence, if the man's is more than the woman's, the child will be male by Allah's leave. If the woman's discharge is more than the man's, then the child will be female by Allah's leave." They said, "Yes." He said, "O Allah, be witness against them." He then said, "I ask you by he who sent down the Torah to Musa, do you not know that the eyes of this unlettered prophet sleep, but his heart does not sleep?" They said, "Yes, by Allah." He said, "O Allah, be witness." They said, "Tell us now about your wali among the angels, for this is when we either follow or shun you." He said, "My wali is Jibril, and Allah never sent a prophet, but Jibril is his wali." They said, "We then shun you. Had you a wali other than Jibril, we would have followed you." On that, Allah, the Exalted, revealed, "Qul man kana aduwan li Jibril 2:97. Allah's statement, "Nafsihi min qabli an tunazzala" 393, means Israel forbade that for himself before the Torah was revealed. There are 2 objectives behind revealing this segment of the ayah. First, he forbade himself the most delightful things for Allah's sake. This practice was allowed during his period of law, and is thus suitable that it is mentioned after Allah's statement, "Lan tanalu al-birra hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun" 392. What we are allowed in our law is to spend in Allah's obedience from what we like and covet, but not to prohibit what Allah has allowed. Allah said in other ayat, وَآتَى الْمَالَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ 1-17, and وَيُطْعِمُونَ الطَّعَامَ عَلَى حُبِّهِ 78. The second reason is that after Allah refuted the false Christian beliefs and allegations about Isa and his mother, Allah started refuting the Jews here, may Allah curse them, by stating that the abrogation of the law that they denied already occurred in their law. For instance, Allah has stated in their book, the Torah, that when Noah departed from the ark, Allah allowed him to eat the meat of all types of animals. Afterwards, Israel forbade the meat and milk of camels for himself, and his children imitated this practice after him. The Torah, later on, prohibited this type of food and added several more types of prohibitions. Allah allowed Adam to marry his daughters to his sons, and this practice was later forbidden.